Can you hear me okay? I think I'm the last speaker. So if I speak too long, it doesn't matter, right? Anyway, I'm going to try to be brief. I'm going to try to limit ourselves to the time that I was given in this case. As a company, we have many values, very much based on innovation, technology, but also people. And given that we are now on the section of people and technology, and throughout the whole day, we've heard a lot about digitization and digital transformation, you must allow me, because I'm going to do a more people approach with a more humanistic view of what facility management is and FM is. I've done my homework, I've taken many notes, and I'm going to mention quote one of the things that Keith Alexander said this morning. He said, FM is a social activity. I'm going to start with a short reflection, not too ambitious, which is the difference between digitization and transformation of services. This is an idea based on a very simple example that we, as a company, nearly 10 years ago, we created an algorithm to predict the cleaning needs in the bathrooms of an airport. And as you know, in an airport you have a huge flow of people. We used a lot of resources, capabilities, and technologies to define this algorithm based on data, for instance, external data that we could obtain from our customer with the arrival times for flights, even delays and weather conditions. Also our own data with sensors, and the sensors allowed us to measure the people flow in the different areas of the airport, even sensors that measured how many people went into the bathrooms. We also had detail of the smileys, which are those surveys that you do outside the bathroom with different smiley faces. And in that manner, we defined the cleaning needs for the bathrooms. A lot of effort, a lot of technology 10 years ago. And the result didn't meet our expectations. The amount of times the algorithm was right was less than 60% of the time. Okay, so it was an advancement because we wanted to have more dynamic management, but it only got it right 60% of the time at best. So we were not very satisfied, and so we created a new source of data, which was the knowledge that our employees provided, the knowledge of our cleaners. And with that, the algorithm went over 90%. Well, this is just an example of how the knowledge of first-line managers or first-line employees. I'm really sorry, 1 second.
Ya está. ¿Sí? Mejor. Con el conocimiento del empleado.
So with the knowledge of our employees, we went over 90% of the time right. And this is an example of how the knowledge of our employee was vital, is totally vital. It doesn't matter how much technology we have, the employee is the master of the algorithm. And that is something that I would like to exemplify, the difference between digitizing a service or transforming a service. And that's how our proposal was created, and we want to present it here as a business case for all of you. Business case focused on a customer that has a dual modality. It has a big site, a very large corporate building or headquarters in Barcelona, and branches with over 480 branches all over the country. So this was a customer that allowed us to have both approaches, branches or different small offices and the headquarters. And where were we starting from? Well, we started from the traditional approach to cleaning. An approach with little visibility, little traceability. And why? Because, well, it's well known that it's a sector that's quite a commodity sector, and the technology has been very limited, and the amount of technological adoption is only starting to increase now, but it's still quite low. And then a relationship model based on resources. We are measured by resources, by hours, based on set pre-established routes. So this is the tech specs, and that's it. Nothing changes. These are the specifications. Obviously, the post-pandemic reality means that now these routes are more dynamic. And then we have our employees. Our employees, which is group that has been socially mistreated, but we all know that is our most important and most valuable asset, however, is the one that is most undervalued. And that leads to a lot of rotation, churn out, and lack of service quality. So we thought, why do we have to transform the quality service? Well, first of all, because we want the cleaning and FM sector in general, and we have seen that the whole day needs to evolve, needs to adapt to the cultural change that society is experiencing. FM today, as a manager, which allows for the places to be of greater or lower quality, is a necessity. In which sense? We know nowadays that the hybrid work system means that some people have questioned whether they need to go back to the office. Well, it is important to go back to the office, but the offices need to also be at the availability of the employees. So as facility managers, we must evolve, and we have to think about the FM sector and how we can evolve at the same time as the culture of the different organizations. We also want to have a cleaning system that adapts, that is dynamic. We need to go from a fixed route system, pre-established system, to one that is dynamic and adapts. And obviously it'll become more efficient, and the processes will. Obviously, technology now gives us this traceability that will allow us to see processes improvements. And that means that we will have efficiencies, cost saving, and reduction of administrative tasks. So the people who do admin work can focus on added value work. Also, we want our people to be empowered. They need to be able to make the decisions. We have to unlock the knowledge of our employees, because they have huge value. They need to feel safe, to participate, to be one more. And we want to transform that to improve the experience of the user. And in these two centers, and with many other customers, we implemented this new model. And where are we right now? Well, we have three key pillars. Technology integration, obviously, and we'll see in detail 8 different technologies that accompany us. The microphone is not working for me. Maybe now. Better? Okay. So where are we? What have we done up to now? 3 things. We've integrated technology. We've applied 8 technologies, which are obviously the catalysts to manage data that would allow us to go towards those dynamic routes. And we've also changed our operations, our processes towards where? Well, locating people at the core. Placing them at the core. For instance, our first line employees, the 400 employees, well, we've given them a smartphone with their own app where they have the planning, the routes, the tasks, the times, everything they need to do. And they can also interact straight away with us. There's very much an operational view, and then there's an engagement model, which is quite interesting, and we'll be able to go deeper into it in a minute. We also have the customers, the clients that can access the app, that can do manual assignation, allocation. There's any suggestion, any complaint, anything can be included there. Then we have our management teams. We have simplified the workflows, so our team is going to focus on added value. And then the digital twin that was presented. We also have digital twin technology that allows us, with sensors and indoor geolocation, trying to obtain lots of data, and this would allow us to move towards the transformation of the different processes. So we'll have greater control of operations, greater control of presence, which is very important when we have 400 branches everywhere in Spain, and maybe in the past we only found out that the cleaner was not there when the customer called us. Well, now we have an automated system, and we can see exactly when there's a delay on a daily check-in, and an automatic service to contact the employee. We have task control, traceability, efficiencies in terms of cost, admin tasks, with a constant improvement inertia. We measure new metrics in sustainability, ESG, because we are directly connected to the employee, and this allows us to capture information, which otherwise, if we were not connected to the 8,000, to the different employees, we wouldn't be able to do it. So we also capture added value information that allows us to have a real-time dashboard in terms of ESG. And we also have a relationship model transformation. Why? Because here we're talking about transforming towards constant improvement, and that means that we need to change our relations with all the stakeholders in the process, with our customers. Now we'll go to an efficiency model. So we don't want them to measure us by people or resources. We want to move into a constant improvement methodology. That means that we need to develop a new relationship model based on collaboration. The smart FM leads to smart contracts. We have developed with a methodology that we've imported from the US, which is called XTET, developed at the Tennessee University. We have brought it here. And what it gives us is a framework, an action framework, so that our customers understand the model and implement it. So with these three elements, technology, people at the core, and real live data capturing, we are able to transform the processes and our services. We spoke about technology. Well, we've also implemented 8 technologies. Ignify, is the one that includes all of them. So we have a mobile app, we have a digital twin, we have business intelligence, we have AI, we have indoor positioning, we have blockchain in order to certify KPIs that can give us a validity of our actions. In this association model, we need our customers' trust. So we have to, with blockchain, verify KPIs, also SAS and others, and IoT. And we have put people at the core, like I said. We've digitized the service. Within this app, we have the routes, we have the frequencies, we have the people. We capture all the information from all the stakeholders that are at the center. We export them, and then we can have data that will lead into dynamic and adaptable routes. But all of this is really good. Okay, so we have the technology, we have people at the core. But if we don't manage to unlock, as I said, our employees' knowledge, we'll have an algorithm that's below 60% accurate. So the last driver, and the most relevant driver, in my opinion, that I would like to mention today, it's an engagement model that we have developed. internally with experts in neuroscience, work psychology, and emotional intelligence, and others. We've implemented this module for this over 400 employees. In the smartphone, they have this module, and what we want is to promote their empowerment so that they participate, so that they make their own decisions, so that they inform us. We want to know what they know. This is a new paradigm for such a huge group of people. And this could be typical for corporate, okay, but not for this group of people. And it's a huge challenge. We want our employees to be our collaborators, to feel comfortable with us. And all of this is based on 3 main axes: recognition, gamification, and reward. Recognition. We want them to feel part of a community. We have created a community of people, and this is very important when you are in a center far from civilization, we could say. We want you to feel part of a community, part of a group, of a society, and we are going to reward you. We will recognize you. We'll be able to acknowledge you, and you'll be able to acknowledge your colleagues. We have virtual applauses, and you'll also receive applauses. We also have challenges for the employees to create a community. We launch surveys to obtain information that is valuable to us, to do with ESG or anything else that will concern the employee, and therefore do things that go in their benefit. Also, recognition linked to gamification. The more you talk to us, the more rewards you'll get. We'll give you points, and that becomes rewards. So we give you badges and points. The badges, well, you'll be able to see it for your colleagues. You'll see that you are much more than just a simple employee. And so we have recognition, gamification, and everything linked to rewards. Additionally, I'll go really quickly over this. We have a well-being program where we offer services for free to the customers, to the employees, about psychological and social help, also financial family planning, because they are quite vulnerable in terms of finances, etc. In the end, we're talking about a new paradigm which promotes the fact that these teams can be aligned and can be together. This also has improvements for them, because they are more motivated, and that could help us reduce absenteeism, which is our great pain point as a sector. And obviously for the customer and the user, because this will become translated to better satisfaction. Just quickly, we have here some examples of what we're talking about. This is the app. The employee has a screen with a profile. They can make suggestions. We can give them the thanks, challenges, etc. I'm going to go quickly over this. Also, we can capture your mood. We're interested in you. When you do the daily check-in, I ask you, how are you? And when you do the checkout, I said, and how are you? And all of this is measured. And it allows us to see these trends so that the management team can help the well-being of our employees. So we have implemented this in a very relevant manner with a big site model, but a multi-site model too. Obviously, the implementation meant that we initially had to do a huge investment on a cultural change. It wasn't easy. Even operations, the fact that they were changing the role, and obviously for the first line employees, we needed to give them training and communication. And secondly, the actual application of the model, which depends on a big site or on a multi-site. If it's a big site, it's more focused on going towards dynamic routes. And there we use all the technologies, sensors, the digital twin, etc., etc. But then we have the multi-site, and the multi-site is an approach that is more about control, controlling exactly operations and having traceability and acting as fast as possible before the incidents become complaints. Two quick examples so that you can visualize exactly what we're saying. Otherwise, it'll all be theoretical. So this is a digital twin model, obviously for a big site. We have the different incidents, heat maps with the routes, where you can see exactly what's been done and what hasn't been done. Floor by floor, the number of incidents, what they are. We have sensors with the dashboards, the KPIs, where we can see exactly how our service is evolving. The heat maps, if it's in green, it means we have done the work. This, obviously, compared to the other digital twin, it's that they just showed us, it's really, it's the lesser brother. But we do have the capability to start connecting any sensors that the customer may request from us. And a second video where you can see the productivity model about control, efficiency. We have the routes and the tasks in each of them. Obviously, we check the work plan compliance. We have a daily view, weekly view, etc.
Aquí vemos la ruta de trabajo.
Here we can see the work route on digital twin and the performance that has been obtained. We see the performance by activity, and we have geolocalized it on digital twin. So, well, this is basically, this is for you to have an idea. And what results are we getting? So when we speak about digitization plus transformation through field knowledge, this is really boosting efficiency from a revolutionary point of view. We've increased productivity by 20%, and we also have we are also boosting sustainability with trustworthy metrics that have been measured and taken from these data that we capture directly from service. We have increased the user satisfaction by 30%, and obviously the engagement, and this is what we feel proud of, has increased in these two services by over 30%. And they are starting to be our own ambassadors in the market. So here I would be done. Just to conclude, I would like to say that this is a model proposal that has been implemented with such a digitization approach. There's a lot of technology, but I would like to highlight this humanistic point of view of how the employee, putting him in the middle and empowering him, we can be able to transform the operations. Thank you very much.